The Aston Martin Vantage S is back, and it's making a bold return to the spotlight in 2026. But this time, things are a little different. Gone is the manual transmission. Gone, too, are four cylinders from the equation. Yet what Aston Martin has delivered with this new Vantage S is not a weaker version, but instead a more refined, more ferocious, and more technologically sharpened machine that shows just how far the company is willing to push its most agile sports car. At its heart lies an AMG-sourced, twin-turbocharged 4.0-liter V8, an engine that has already proved itself in the standard Vantage. But in the Vantage S, engineers have squeezed out an extra dose of adrenaline. The result? A staggering 670 horsepower. At 6,000 RPM, a 14 horsepower gain over the regular model. Torque remains at a muscular 590 pound-feet, channeled to the rear wheels alone. But the way that power is delivered has been meticulously tuned for sharper response and quicker launches. That added power translates directly into speed. By Aston Martin's official estimates, the Vantage S can launch from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.3 seconds. But if history is any indicator, that's a conservative figure. After all, the 2025 Vantage managed the sprint in just 3.2 seconds during independent testing, outperforming its own factory numbers. With the recalibrated launch control system and more aggressive tuning, the Vantage S should be even quicker in the real world. Top speed, while not officially released, is expected to nudge higher than the standard car's 200 mph, putting it squarely in the same league as some of the fiercest rivals from Ferrari, Porsche, and McLaren. Straight-line speed, however, is only part of the story. The Vantage S has been engineered to be more than just a rocket in a straight line. Aston Martin has focused intensely on the details of how the car feels, how it communicates with its driver, and how it responds when pushed to the limit. To that end, the company has reworked the throttle pedal weight and mapping. The intention was to give the Vantage S a sharper, more intuitive response under varying loads, and to make the driver feel more directly connected to what's happening under the hood. It's a small change on paper, but one that pays dividends in terms of driver engagement. The chassis has also seen significant upgrades. Engineers have retuned the suspension, fitted softer transmission mounting points for improved refinement, and introduced entirely new camber, toe, and caster settings. These tweaks may sound subtle, but they change the way the car dances through corners. By optimizing geometry and tightening the overall setup, Aston Martin has created a sharper, more reactive front end that grips harder under high lateral loads. Meanwhile, at the rear, the subframe is now mounted directly to the body, replacing the rubber bushings used before. This decision enhances stiffness and increases feedback, letting the driver feel every nuance of the road beneath. For enthusiasts, this is the kind of setup that transforms the car from being merely fast into something truly exhilarating. Visually, the 2026 Vantage S stands apart from its sibling with a series of well-judged but unmistakable enhancements. Carbon fiber blades on the hood serve both a functional and aesthetic role, helping extract heat from the engine bay while giving the car a more aggressive look. At the rear, a full-width deck-lid spoiler provides not only aerodynamic benefits, but also a striking visual signature, differentiating it clearly from the standard Vantage. Handmade S badges affixed to the front fenders further set it apart, signaling to enthusiasts and passers-by alike that this is no ordinary Aston Martin. The design remains quintessentially Vantage: long hood, short tail, low stance. But with these elements, the S model broadcasts a sharper, more focused character. Step inside, and the car's intentions are equally clear. Though Aston Martin has yet to fully reveal all interior details, buyers can expect the same blend of luxury and performance the brand is famous for, with unique trim touches, stitching patterns, and material choices to emphasize the S designation. Expect an updated digital driver display tuned to highlight performance metrics, alongside bespoke options for leathers, Alcantara, and carbon fiber. Like every Aston Martin, customization will be a key selling point, ensuring no two cars are truly alike. Beyond the physical changes, the arrival of the Vantage S marks something deeper for Aston Martin, a reaffirmation of its identity. In recent years, the brand has leaned heavily on its partnership with Mercedes-AMG, incorporating engines and electronics from its German counterpart. But with the Vantage S, Aston Martin has shown its ability to take that foundation and make it distinctly their own. It's not just about borrowing power, it's about refining it, enhancing it, and making it part of the Aston Martin ethos. The car is more than just a parts bin special. It's a carefully honed machine designed to reflect the company's unique spirit. For customers, the Vantage S offers a bridge between the standard Vantage and the even more extreme Aston Martin. Models like the DBS and the Valhalla. It's the car for those who want something sharper, faster, and more exclusive, without straying into the hypercar stratosphere. And while it sacrifices the manual gearbox and naturally aspirated engines of earlier generations, losses that purists may mourn, the new Vantage S more than makes up for it with sheer performance and sophistication. It represents a different philosophy, one rooted not in nostalgia, but in pushing forward. The public debut of the 2026 Aston Martin Vantage S will take place at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, one of the most fitting venues imaginable. There, enthusiasts will see the car in motion, hear the roar of its V8 echo across the festival grounds, and witness firsthand the way Aston Martin intends to shape its future. Orders are already open, with deliveries expected to begin in the final quarter of this year. That means lucky buyers will have the opportunity to get behind the wheel before the year is out, just in time to experience what may be one of the most exciting modern sports cars on the road. But what does this car mean in the bigger picture? In many ways, the Vantage S serves as a statement. It proves that Aston Martin is not content to let its rivals dominate the segment. In an era where electrification is rapidly changing the automotive landscape, the Vantage S doubles down on the visceral thrill of a high-performance internal combustion engine. It's a car that prioritizes feel, sound, and emotion, qualities that no battery pack can yet fully replicate. For enthusiasts, that matters. For Aston Martin, it's a reminder that its heritage is alive and well, even as it prepares for the electric future. Competitively, the Vantage S enters a crowded arena. Against cars like the Porsche 911 Turbo S, the Ferrari Roma, and the McLaren Artura, it will need to carve its niche. Yet, what Aston Martin offers is something harder to quantify, an intangible sense of theatre. From the way it looks parked at the curb, to the way its exhaust note reverberates against a canyon wall, the Vantage S appeals not just to logic, but to emotion. For many buyers, that's exactly what makes it irresistible. At the end of the day, the 2026 Aston Martin Vantage S is more than just numbers on a spec sheet. Yes, 670 horsepower, 590 pound-feet of torque, and a blistering 3.3-second sprint to 60 make for impressive bragging rights. But it's the sum of its parts, the recalibrated throttle, the retuned suspension, the stiffer subframe, the bespoke design cues that create the whole picture. It's a car built not just to be driven, but to be experienced. And in a world where so many vehicles are becoming appliances, that experience is priceless. So, as the curtain rises at Goodwood, and the world gets its first glimpse of the revived Vantage S, Aston Martin has once again proven that it understands what it means to create a true driver's car. It may have fewer cylinders than before, and it may not have a manual, but in every other way, it's more powerful, more engaging, and more exhilarating than ever. The 2026 Aston Martin Vantage S is here, and it's ready to remind the world why Aston Martin remains one of the most iconic names in performance and luxury alike.